Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Who do we
Nilikuwa nafikiria ndapata mtu ananifungulia mlango hapa. Kama hizo tuzione kwa TV.
Habari yako?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Karibu sana Jacky.
Asante.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Jacky Vike, and that kwanza the pronunciation of the last name, we're doing it right.
You are Vicke.
Fantastic.
Many people say Vicke.
Jacky Vike in the house. People, you've seen her on Papa Shirandula and various other platforms, radio, also on the digital platform. So, karibu sana, Asante. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How have you been? How is this year so far for you?
Let me tell you, you are saying,
wacha
nikwambie, atunasema how has this year been for me? Do you know there's no 2020 yet? Yeah. In fact, this year I'm not even counting like I've added a year or something.
Really?
I'm not celebrating any birthday. Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's been disruptive to a lot of people.
It's bad.
Has it affected any aspect of your life?
Yeah, of course, in so many ways. What do you mean? Job-wise, and you know, my job is more of, you know, movement.
Yes.
I'm talking in terms of, you know, not only on TV,
yes,
but we also do performances outside. I'm talking activations, probably road shows, corporate events, yeah, and many other things. Okay. So it has really affected us. And also even family. Like we no longer have that freedom of, we can move from one place to the other. Oh, I'm going to visit my aunt, or come over, we have a get-together or a birthday, nothing. Yes. So life, it has stopped. Yes. Yeah, somewhere.
And Jacky, we know a lot about you. I think a lot of people know about your start. I mean, in a nutshell, you can also just, you know, brief us about your journey.
Mine started way back, talking, you know, from primary school, doing drama festivals, high school. But professionally, it started after high school, whereby I went to the Kenya National Theatre. I auditioned for set books. And I remember my first director, Joel Otuko, we did some rehearsals for a couple of set books, which we never performed. Things, you know, they were just, you know, the company we were working for, I think they were just some disorganizations. I don't know how I can put it, but after that, I auditioned for Theatrics Arts Ensemble. It's Aliwa Davids. He's the director, he's also the manager of the group. So after doing traveling theater for like a year or so, I came back, and then, you know, I started auditioning for TV now, and my first TV show was Wash and Set. And then after that, I went for some auditions whereby it happened that Charles Bukeko, now Papa Shirandula, was among the panelists. And they were really happy with my performance. And it was something totally different from Awinja, because I auditioned with a different character. No accent, no nothing. So I went for the second audition, the third one, and we were just waiting to be called now to shoot the main thing. Then I don't know what happened, the project never went through. But then after like a year, Charles Bukeko, Papa Shirandula, called me for a house girl role. And when he mentioned that this girl is from Mumias and she has to have a Luya accent, I said, you know what, no, I can't, I'm not good with accents, but I know someone who will hack it. So I ended up giving someone else's number. But then again, I don't know what happened. He still called me back and he's like, you know what, come, we'll work it out. So yeah, that's how the character Awinja was born.
What did that teach you about yourself? When now finally Charles Bukeko kept on persisting and you decided to give it a shot, what did that teach you about yourself? It taught me that nothing is impossible, and you know, practice makes perfect, because the more I kept doing it, the more I became good at it. And you know, even when you watch the first episodes, when I appeared on Papa Shirandula, I never had that deep Luya accent. But as time went on, I learned along the way. You know, I had to go and do my research, sit with these, you know, people who speak like that. And, you know, it grew in me. Yeah, after how many shows did you get comfortable with that role?
First of all, even before the role becoming comfortable, do you know that Papa Shirandula has been there, I don't know for how many years?
Yes.
When I was in school, I used to watch it. So you can imagine getting into such a show whereby it has, it had these gurus, people who've been in the industry like, Kina Will Broda, Jacky Nyaminde, Kina Jalango, First of all, I was so intimidated and I was like, wow, now what? This character already is a challenge, and then I'm coming to meet these people. They're already in a different level. Like you cannot water down such a show, so you have to up your game. But basically with time, they really helped me, and we grew, as a team. They tell me, yeah, don't you worry, it doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to have an accent in each and everything. Even when you hear of lawyers speaking, it's not like they kind of have that accent in each and every word. Yeah.
So what was your first solid professional gig?
A solid one.
Yeah.
The one that I can say, like I had, I had salary each and every month.
Exactly.
I can say, I think Papa Shirandula.
Okay.
And it was, I can say, my first like serious job. Like I've done even other shows, but it was more like the salaries would delay, or at times guys would stay for like even 3 months without pay. But once I joined the Papa Shirandula show, it was like this thing is serious. Yeah, besides the set books. Yeah, for traveling theater, I can also say that it was also a solid job.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like as uncomfortable as the role was once, now you've settled in, kabisa. People, recognize you from that show and various other platforms. But what doors did that one decision of you saying, you know what, I'll give it a try, what doors did it open?
Wow, oh my God. Hey, like I can't even start counting. Like my life changed. It changed in so many ways. I'm talking in terms of even other jobs coming through. Like it opened doors for me, like doing advertisements, becoming ambassadors for different products, clients trusting me with their products. And, even right now, like I have a rapport with some of them, and it's crazy how such a role can make you go into, like, being an actor, like, ilifanya nipande ndege.
Wow.
Like, it has made me meet, presidents, like, it has made me...
Picha,
yeah?
Tumeona picha mingi, Omarion, who else did I see?
Ricky Rose.
Who else? Rick Ross?
Yeah, it was
Hey, yeah,
Rick Ross.
what celebrities, yeah.
Yeah, like it is, yeah, it has been crazy. It has been overwhelming in a very good way.
In terms of these roles that have come as a result of you being in Papa Shirandula, did they approach you? Did you seek them out actively? How did you position yourself?
Many a times when a client approaches you, because you don't know what they want, so you ask them, do you want Awinja or do you want Jacky Vike? And they'll be like, no one knows Jacky Vike. Yeah, we want Awinja.
Okay.
So most of the things that I've done, okay, what I can say is how you brand yourself. And I'm so grateful because you can see how citizens tend to push for their artists and, and their people in general. People knew me through Citizen TV and the show Papa Shirandula. So the more the show was on, the more the brand grew. And that way, the clients want, to be associated with you, or their products to be associated with you, because the Mwananchi can relate with what you're doing. Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about money in this industry, because people have different stories. You're talking about also in other roles, delayed payments, maybe not getting paid what you think you deserve. How have you been able to position yourself in terms of money now?
First of all, how I can put it is, pesa ukuja tena mingi sana. It really depends with how you plan yourself. But you know, the more you grow, the more responsibilities you have. So money is never enough. But what I normally do is, whatever it is that I get, at least I try and save a certain percentage, you know, because, you know, our industry is very funny. Today people are cheering you on, the next day the people forget about you. So the more relevant you are, the more, you know, or let me say consistent, yeah? Consistency is everything in this industry. If you're consistent, and then jobs will keep coming. So what I normally do, because you know, our jobs, they are very funny. I'm sure maybe you know or you've heard about this. You might wake up today, a corporate waku reach, wakwambia, you know what, we have this gig. We are paying you a certain amount, a very good amount. Do you know, unaweza kwa hiyo ndo pesa mingi umetengeza hiyo mwaka. That one gig. So it really depends. So that's why I'm saying I really try my best to save even the little I can, because we don't know about tomorrow. Besides the, you know, the normal salary that you rely on, but that already has its own, you know, responsibilities.
In terms of, because you're talking, when we started talking about COVID, ulisema a few of your gigs were affected. I mean, how big of a dent are we looking at? It doesn't have to be in terms of a monetary value, but also in time.
It's so big. It's so big, and you know, we cannot recover time, unfortunately. It's so big that, you know, like even before this COVID, like I had signed a few contracts here and there, and you know, most of those jobs were to go and interact with the people, like, you know, you being in Kisumu, we are doing Royco, or, you know, other things. Yeah. So it's a dent. It is a big dent. And the one thing I've learned about it is, you know, many a times when we work and maybe, you know, like you're expecting some money, you tend to start unajipigia hesabu hakuna, ile donda nini, mimi nakwambia ile do ikikam sasa ndio sasa, you know, like I'll do ABC, and then boom, that money is not there. Then what? You know, like one thing I've learned is, do not count your chicks before they hatch. Ama wanasemanga nini? That one. So yeah, so that's one thing I've learned. Like, unless I have it kwa mikono yangu, don't count it. Yeah.
What has it taught you? Have you rethought? Have you had a rethink of how you conduct business, or maybe other places to invest in? Because no one foresaw this. Yeah? So imebadilishaje mentality yako kuhusu things that you invest in?
Okay, for me what I can say is, you see, this COVID haijabagua whether you are employed, whether you have your own business, you know, like it has affected each and every person. But what I can say is the online way has really helped so many people. You know, even those people who have small businesses and they were never online, this was the best time for them to go online and do their business. So I'd probably just urge even other people, like when you have a business, probably if you have both ways, like maybe your physical ground and also online, then I'm sure in one way or the other hawezi kuwa affected sana. You will say, you know what, ground hata siwezi ifungua juu siwezi ilipia rent, but I have this Facebook page or Instagram or Twitter whereby I can still, you know, generate income. Yeah, so online, I'm sure even you can tell. Yeah, like even right now, even if you look at other artists, you can tell people have gone the YouTube way, IG Live, you know, and those other platforms.
What lessons have you learned from this creative industry, particularly in Kenya? Because I'll go back to some of the conversations that I've had with other creatives. Kama uliona, we did Yafesi, we did George Kagwe, now we have you know, actors. Ni nini unaweza sema for that you've learned in this creative industry of ours?
Okay, now for me what I can say is, you know, times have really changed. You know, the days of, you know, kina Mr. Ojwang, Mzee Ojwang, sorry, they were never used to have, you know, the kind of online platform people have right now. And for one to say, oh, I don't have a platform, oh, please hook me up, ABC. Nowadays I tell people, you know what? You have a platform whereby you don't even need to leave your house. You just need a phone, good lighting, and I'm talking usinunua hata lights, the sun, you know, and then you can do, you know, your beautiful content. So what I can say is consistency is key. That's one thing that I have learned. Because, you know, in Kenya, maybe when you're no longer on TV, you know, it's more of out of sight, out of mind. People tend to forget about you very fast, you know. And if that happens, you know, the best way you can do, once you know that, you know what, this is my brand, people love me because of ABC. Endelea kuikuza kwa internet. And people can follow you from there. And that's the life right now. I know so many people who their brands have grew online. Hata wachana na TV, they've never been on TV and they are so big online. Yeah, so for me what I can say is consistency and staying relevant.
So kama, like you, Jacky, now, like if I were in your shoes, or what do you do? What platforms do you utilize to stay relevant? I mean, is it social media, tweeting every now and then? What is it, you know?
For me, I'd say Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. Because you know, for Instagram, we have the Awinja followers and we have the Jacky Vike followers. You know, they are those two people. Maybe.
What are those handles? One that will be what?
Oh. Follow. Yeah, what up? Sasa ni kujiuza, wacha tumwage hizi handles. So guys, my Instagram handle is @Jacky Vike. JACKY VIKE. Same as Twitter, same thing. And then on Facebook, I have a Facebook page for Awinja. It's called Awinja Nyamwalo. And just recently, I just started something called Awinja News, whereby I bring you news that might have happened or not. So yeah, so stay tuned. So, and other things. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So what type of creative content now do you put on those particular platforms?
Yeah, so I give them both.
Okay.
You know, one thing is you have to know your followers. Why do they follow you? You know, and I tend to give them both. I give them the Awinja and I also give them Jacky Vike. The reason why they are there for Jacky Vike most of the time is because of me, just Jacky, me being me, and also the fashion. Yeah, so I tend to balance. I am also on Twitter, but not very active. But me nakuanga tu. I tend to tweet once in a while the things I feel like zinaniumiza mimi kama kwa society, you know, the police brutality and those other things. Yeah, so I tend to balance.
Anything you would like to add on? It could be a message to aspiring creatives. Inaweza kuwa, I don't know, just any final thoughts that maybe you may have.
Okay. For me, what I would say, because you see many a times, you find that people DM me, they ask me how they can join, you know, they want to be famous. You see, that's a very wrong question. You can't say that you want to be famous. You know, that's not you saying that you love this job and you would love to do it. So what I can say is do not do anything because people are doing it or you've seen them on TV. Don't do it for money because my brother, my sister, you will wait. This money just doesn't come overnight. It takes time, you know, and sweet money is the one that it's very gradual and it really takes time. So I can say do something because you love it, not because other people are doing it or because you want to be famous. You'll be bored in a second, you know. Just do it because you love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Jacky, once again.
That was fast.
Tunakushukuru sana.
I thought tutaendelea.
Tutafanya part 2.
Yeah.
Now when you release your production, when you're behind the scenes, we will come and do a part 2, definitely.
Yeah.
Tumekushukuru sana.
Asante.
We as Ride Free with George don't take this for granted.
Thank you so much.
And we know special things are coming. You're still, I mean, down to work. Tumekushukuru sana.
Asante.
Na Mungu akubariki.
Thank you for having me.
So also another thing that we do as Ride Free with George, ni, just as the name says, we will pick you up. Unaweza tupigia one day, tell us, hey George, we want you to pick us up from this particular location, utupeleke pale pengine within the Nairobi metropolitan area, and we will do that not only for you, kama ni wewe ama unataka kupass on the ride to somebody else, you know, you can do that as well.
That's nice.
Yes.
So kitu unamaanisha wachana na kizungu mingi ni lift ya bure.
Ni lift ya bure.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Kabisa, yes.
Nimeshukuru. Thank you for having me.
Sana, yes.